I'm Ruby, a 47-year-old office worker. My husband Ryan and I have been married for 23 years. He's 50, 3 years older than me, and holds a senior management position at a regular company. When we first got married, he adored me, and we had a wonderful marriage. However, over time, our relationship has cooled significantly. We have a daughter who has graduated from college and moved out to live on her own. Since then, our interactions as a couple have dwindled, and when we do communicate, it often escalates into arguments. Ryan has never been inclined to help with household chores, which has been a constant source of frustration for me. One day I arrived home late from work, only to find him on the sofa, engrossed in TV, seemingly aware of my presence, but not bothering to acknowledge it. I couldn't help but wonder if he had arrived home earlier than me. It felt disheartening that he couldn't even make dinner or tidy up after himself. His habit of leaving his clothes strewn about the floor was particularly exasperating. I asked him to put his clothes in the laundry basket, and he replied, "Okay, we can do it later." I pressed him further, asking when later would be since I was starving and dinner was nowhere in sight. He retorted, "After dinner," claiming exhaustion from work and suggesting that household chores were a woman's responsibility. I told him I didn't appreciate his tone and that it wasn't befitting of a senior manager to speak that way. He responded arrogantly, stating that he was the boss. Our argument escalated further as I questioned whether his subordinates would truly follow him. He accused me of being a cruel wife and implied that I should quit my job if I had issues with his work hours. I reminded him that he had initially agreed to let me continue working after marriage. He dismissed my concerns, suggesting that I was an old hacker and telling me to get on with my job. Frustrated, I decided to leave for dinner, ending our senseless argument. This had become a typical scenario in my relationship with Ryan, constant quarrels. When our daughter lived with us, we had family discussions, but now that she's gone, disputes seem to be all we have left. I had once believed that Ryan and I were happily married, but I couldn't help but wonder how our once warm and loving relationship had grown so cold. Furthermore, we got acquainted because Ryan approached me aggressively. Throughout our relationship, he was really nice to me and did a lot for me. We married because he proposed to me, and I believe that being loved and married made a woman happy. Ryan has become such a cold guy towards me, which makes me quite frustrated. In recent years, I've seen a shift in his behavior. I have a feeling he is cheating on me, but he's really careful about it. I can't find a scrap of evidence to support that. I considered employing an agency, but a part of me still believes in Ryan. I know it sounds strange that our relationship progressed this way, cold, but we've been together for 23 years. I wanted to believe in him. I had many terrible days like that, and every time I was with him, I felt dissatisfied. After a few months of hard labor and cleaning, Ryan informed me that he had something to say to me. What exactly does he want? What do you want? Something's wrong. He smiled maliciously and then left, saying, "I can't have an old hug anymore." I want a divorce. Such a swift declaration of divorce surprised me, but there was only one way to react. "Okay, I understand." "What?" Ryan's voice came from his head. "Are you serious? We're discussing divorce. But I understand what we're talking about. It signals the end of our marriage. Do you? You know how much trouble you get in if we divorced. I mean, don't you care what others think? I know it would be a difficult period, but I'm fortunate today and don't care what others think. There are divorcees all throughout the world. Yeah, you proposed the divorce, so what's your concern? Don't tell me you expected me to say I didn't want a divorce. No, I didn't expect you to say yes so simply. You said you wanted a divorce. Isn't it satisfying to say yes to you? Yes, that is true, but what? Is this a threat? You're merely stating this without genuinely wanting a divorce. No, of course. Then let us get divorced. Okay, the divorce papers. I do not have them right now. I assumed you had prepared everything. Shut up. I will be right back. I will get them immediately. Ryan immediately took the divorce papers upon my prompting. Are you sure about that? Oh my goodness, I just filled out the blasted divorce paperwork. Okay, I understand. Just to let you know, I am not having an affair. Why are you stating this so suddenly? I told you I was not having an affair. It's suspicious that you mentioned that. Let's make a clear decision on property. Ryan looked astonished that I accepted the divorce so easily, but I suppose that's not unexpected given how he's been acting and the horrible outbursts he's been having. I mean, who doesn't desire a divorce? I merely have excellent work, and we have no trouble making ends meet. After the divorce was finalized, I contacted our daughter and informed her that we were divorcing. As you can expect, my daughter was astonished. She witnessed and heard her father's words and attitude toward me. She was persuaded that I had agreed to the divorce immediately. Has he called or texted you? I haven't received one yet, but I am confident I will today. Ryan has treated our kid to express his affection, but she does not like him very much. When she was a child, he was preoccupied with work and never participated in any parent-child activities. They made her feel incredibly lonely, and because she witnessed his swearing and attitude toward me, she has grown increasingly dissatisfied with her father. That is a true jerk, the most awful father. Oh wait, I just received a message from him. What exactly did he say? He said you were asleep and that he was lonely and wanted me to come over. Although I have no desire to see him, I am relieved to be able to see you without any apprehension, Mother. Let's go out to supper sometime. Yes, sure, yay. But why did Celine ask for a divorce? Isn't this strange? Well, he said he wasn't cheating on me, which I didn't question. Perhaps he is having an affair. What? If he was, he would be a tremendous jerk. I'm simply speculating. If this is true, I'm not going to see him again. Following our talk, I hung up the phone with my daughter. About a month or so later, I went to the cafe where I was meeting my daughter. Mom, it has been a while. Has it been 6 months since the last time? You look fantastic and your face is shining. Perhaps it's because I'm not stressed right now. You're living alone now, right? Yes, I reside in an apartment close to my office. It's great for traffic and eliminates the need to do chores for 2 people. I have more time to spend with my friends and hobbies. I'm just pleased right now. That's great. If this is what everything has come to, I regret not getting divorced sooner. You're right, who doesn't dislike serving someone with that unpleasant expression? I really do. You know what? He called me an old hag. Did he? That is disgusting. After a little conversation, my daughter began talking about something uncomfortable. You mentioned the other day that you might be having an affair. I was curious, so I asked the agency to look into it. Oh, seriously? Have you received the results? Yes, these are the results. I cautiously perused the results my daughter provided me, which included photos of Ryan and a young woman holding arms joyfully in hotels and homes. He cheated on me, right? How else is it possible? I was shocked. I was correct. He left me for another woman. Mom, there is no time to be sad. We have the evidence. I think you should receive alimony. I understand. By the way, I am responsible for paying the agent you hired. You can do it after you have the alimony from Dad, but I'm not sure how I can show this infidelity. There's a chance he did it after our divorce. Actually, I already have proof. What? What do you mean? She showed me another document. These are the discussions between Dad and his lover. So how did you obtain it? I happened to use him. According to the narrative, my daughter visited Ryan's residence to see him. She fed him a home-cooked lunch and made him drink a lot of wine. He was overjoyed to see his daughter and to be able to enjoy the food she had prepared with her wine. So he drank a lot and got absolutely drunk. Our daughter used his hand to unlock his phone's fingerprint authentication. She grabbed a screenshot of the talks he had with the lover on WhatsApp and sent it to her own account for proof. Oh, my dear, you are fantastic, because I can't forget about cheating on you and having an affair. That is enough for you to win. Yes, thanks. We are going to fight him and his lover. Then we need to call Ryan and tell him we wanted to talk about alimony. He will not come if I am present. So my daughter asked to meet him alone, and we'll catch him in a cafe. When my daughter and Ryan arrived, I showed up and sat down. Ryan then gave me a very disapproving look. Why is she here? I do not want to see you either, but I have something vital to say. What would you like to chat about? You were having an affair, right? What exactly are you talking about? I informed you at the time of the divorce that I was not having an affair. You appear to be able to disguise it nicely. You can't blame the specialists for performing their jobs so effectively. That's what I remarked as I laid out the images my daughter received from the agency. Ryan was astonished. This is the woman I am with after breaking up with you. Thus, I was not cheating. Well, I expected you to say that. Actually, there is something more. What? And I showed him what our daughter had prepared for us. I gave him a printout of our WhatsApp discussions. These are all from when we were still married. That, combined with the previous photographs, is absolutely evidence. How did you receive it? The day we drank at home, I looked up your phone number and copied everything. You did what? That's not proper. You cannot simply check someone's phone without permission. Don't tell me what's inappropriate. You have a wife and a daughter. You are a family man, yet you believe it is acceptable to simply ruin this family. And now you are teaching me what is appropriate. Bullshit. I absolutely despise you. Ryan was pelted after learning that his beloved daughter despised him. I have all of this evidence and I'm asking for alimony. What exactly are you talking about? We have already split up. I do not owe you any money. Are you really an idiot? The statute of limitations on cheating is 3 years. We've only been broken up for about a month. I have ample time to file for alimony. Oh no, okay then, we are done here. Let us proceed through our lawyer for the remainder of the application. Oh Dad, there's one thing I neglected to tell you. What is it? Ryan looks at my daughter as if he expects something. You have no right to refer to Mom as an old huck. I mean, Dad, you are an old fogey to me as well. You need to stop behaving like a good person while spewing garbage at everyone around you. If you do this to your coworkers, God, they must despise you a lot. I, like your daughter, also despise you. She exposed all of these comments to him. Ryan froze in disbelief. He had tears in his eyes. I left the cafe with my daughter without saying my goodbyes to him. After that, we went directly to our other opponent, Ryan Slover. We were scheduled to meet at another cafe. When my daughter and I arrived, the woman was already there. She waited for us, smoking a cigarette. What do you both want from me? To put it simply, I want you to pay my alimony because you're having an affair with my husband. What? Alimony? I began seeing him. We became single. That is not adultery. I showed her the same evidence I had shown Ryan. This proves that there was an affair. My lawyer advised me that I could receive alimony. But you are already divorced. You cannot receive alimony if you are already divorced. You are such an idiot. Like my ex-husband, I believe birds of a feather flock together. What exactly are you trying to say? Just an old hug out of nowhere. Ha, that's what my ex used to tell me. That is such a dumb as hole. What's the sense of dating an old woman who thinks she can hide her age with thick makeup? Who in the heck do you think you are? To me, you are also an elderly woman, and you're only part-time, right? I'd rather have a mother who has been working full-time in a highly qualified profession. I'd say she's a more independent and decent woman. All right, do not get me wrong. I wasn't making fun of you for being part-time. I'm only trying to point out that you're not even close to being as good as my mother. What the hell is wrong with this bitch? Fuck off. I'm pleased she mentioned it to Ryan's lover. Anyway, I informed you about alimony. Even if you divorce, the statute of limitations on alimony for adultery is 3 years. You are fooling me. No, this is real. I also sent a surprise to your home. What? Your husband will learn about the affair. Okay, just a minute. That's what I heard. What if I get divorced? That is your business. You wreck people's families. Don't believe you can acquire all of the benefits. The woman froze in her tracks. Her face was pallid. My daughter and I exited the dinner feeling invigorated. After that, Ryan and his wife paid me alimony. The fair partner's husband levied charges against both. They are compelled to live on extreme property. By the way, I sent the evidence to Ryan's employer as well. Ryan's adultery spread throughout the firm. I heard Ryan was taking on the role of senior manager. Also, I've heard that my daughter will be working with someone from Ryan's company. She had heard that he was the company's most unpopular senior manager. Everyone was ecstatic when he accepted the appointment. Well, that is not difficult to imagine. I couldn't help but laugh as I thought about how happy everyone was with the outcome. His huge income, the single advantage he had, was no longer available. Nobody would be interested in him anymore. At best, he'd spend the rest of his life alone and secluded. In contrast, I am doing exceptionally well in both my professional and personal lives. I plan to continue visiting my daughter and friends on a regular basis, as well as pursue and enjoy my hobbies. I choose to live my days to the fullest. I had no idea that this individual who constantly complains about moral harassment is also one of the worst husbands who cheats on his wife. Luckily, they have a wonderful daughter. She's like a character from Mission Impossible. What a wonderful technique to consider. The way she established her husband's adultery and obtained alimony was equally impressive. I hope Ruby will be able to accomplish whatever she wants for the rest of her life.